Hyundai Holiday Sales Event.
Approved credit. Leases are 10,000 miles per year with $39.99 due at signing, plus tax license acquisition fee. Zero security deposit. Negative equity applied to new loan. Payment includes all available factory rebates. No payments through HMFC. Offers not in combination.
This hour of Allman brought to you by Matthew Mitchell of Allstate Insurance, home of the Mitchell-Allman Premium Guarantee. To see how you can save, email MatthewMitchell@allstate.com or call 855-QUOTE-ME.
Have yourself a merry little Christmas. Let your heart be light.
Good morning, you bunch of drunks.
Next year all our troubles will be out of sight.
Really so pleased to be back at the USO headquarters here. Missouri USO headquarters. Keep in mind, these guys, no federal funding, not even any funding from the national USO. This is a USO that is fueled entirely by corporate donations, people, volunteers, you name it. And this is the annual Exodus program where we have our young men and women traveling to and fro to their homes, their other destinations after being in boot camp. They've got their drill sergeants following them around, and it's a sight to behold. And again, the volunteers here are very important. The typical volunteer is someone who might actually have their parents were volunteers for the USO. I've ran into many of those individuals. Some of them have direct ties, of course, to the military and have actually been through here before as members of the military. And then some of them are families of military folks. And I'm really pleased and proud to have members of a family that I have been privileged to know for a number of years now, and the circumstances under which I actually met them are not bright at all. But nonetheless, in the aftermath of the death of the great Army Ranger, Lieutenant Dan Riordan, in Iraq in 2007, the family of Lieutenant Dan has stepped up. It's just an amazing, you have to actually meet them, this Gold Star family, and see what they have done and continue to do for our military, stepping up, whether it be the Lieutenant Dan Riordan Scholarship Fund there at Vianney or just in other areas where Janine, Lieutenant Dan's mom, a Gold Star mom, is always there for military moms, regardless of what their circumstances are and military families. And so this family is really amazing. And you all also know Aunt Sue, who has called into the show before, and we call her Aunt Sue because, well, she's Lieutenant Dan's aunt, and Sue Garrett, and she's a Vietnam veteran herself, and so it runs in the family and has been in the family. It's in the family blood, and I have two members of that family with me right now, and really proud to be with these guys because they're out here every year at Exodus as well, and one is Nick Riordan, who is Lieutenant Dan's twin brother. Good to see you, Nick. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Thanks, Jamie.
Thanks so much for everything. And Chris Garrett, who is Aunt Sue's son, but also, of course, the cousin of Lieutenant Dan Riordan. And this is another example. They're with an organization called Calling All Patriots. And before we get into that, I want to say, first of all, congratulations to Nick Riordan, who is, is a 40 under 40? What's this all about, Nick Riordan? What's going in the St. Louis Business Journal? You got a spread and your picture and everything. What's that all about?
This is a great opportunity to redirect right back to the USO and the Calling All Patriots
well, anyway, I know
that we'd love to tell you more about.
I know. Well, we'll put a link up. We'll find it on the Business Journal,
find it.
And we'll put the link up because he's in the financial services industry, right? Correct. And Nick is a great guy. And again, this family steps up every step of the way. And this morning, what were you guys up to, Chris?
So this morning we were giving out mobile cell phone chargers for the troops. So they came through. We gave out thousands of them. It was a very busy day both here and at the Terminal 2. So we had folks at both locations for the USO giving out the chargers, and the troops really like that.
Oh,
so,
I'm sure they do. I'm sure they do because I know they have like plug-ins places, but that doesn't kind of do the trick when you really need when you're in a pinch.
That's right. We had people going all over the country too. So they're going to Nevada and Hawaii and all over the U.S. So
yeah,
a lot of long travel still ahead for a lot of these folks here. So, it was,
and what company is this associated with? I mean, calling all Patriots. Like, what's the direct line to the company?
So we are actually a conglomerate of different businesses here in the St. Louis area. Nick works at Central Bank of St. Louis. We've got Tricia here from Enterprise. Myself from Travelers. And so we basically just kind of network that way and collect cell phones. So people can support the effort by dropping off used devices at any Enterprise rent-a-car location in the St. Louis area or Central Bank location.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So
we
people
collect those. So if you're getting one of those fancy new iPhone 7s for Christmas, or maybe a Galaxy or whatever, and you're turning in an older phone, we can use that to make money out of that and support the USO here.
Oh, fantastic. That's a great plan. I remember you when this was you guys were first coming up with this idea, and you've been here doing that then?
This is about 7 or 8 years for us now.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's amazing what you guys do, and good for you guys.
We've also been able to renovate both here at the USO St. Louis as well as Fort Leonard Wood, the Cyber Cafe. So we've upgraded all the network there, the Wi-Fi service that the troops use to keep connected to family and friends when they're in the USO. So,
well, this is one of the premier USO headquarters in the country, thanks to the volunteer work and the corporate support and all that. So it's pretty amazing. So thank you for doing that. And Nick, I guess this is an ongoing effort on the part of the Riordan family and the Garrett family and beyond, and your corporate families as well, because this is really important to you on behalf of your twin brother and on behalf of your family and on behalf of our American soldiers.
Sure, yeah, and I'll tell you, just speaking from my personal experience, that having opportunities to come and see the young soldiers and Marines coming through the airport and the thankfulness they display when we're handing out something so simple as a portable cell phone charger. It's as a Gold Star family, it's meaningful and it helps us heal. It's therapeutic in a way. We feel the same way about the scholarship fund for my brother at Vianney High School. When we have our events, it's a healing process for my family, not only to honor Dan, but just to help other people in those ways. So to share an anecdote from this morning, we've been here for the last 5 or 6 hours, and we're trying to help support the troops by helping them stay connected with family by handing out these mobile phone chargers, and we're trying to express our gratitude. And here we are, young man, Private Radis, heading back to Nevada, puts his 2 armfuls of stuff he's been given walking through the gauntlet here from Anheuser-Busch and Hardee's and Monster Energy and our group, and he puts all this stuff down on the table, extends his hand, shakes my hand, shakes Chris's hand, and says, "Thank you so much. I can't tell you how much this means to all of us." And we're trying to send that message to them, and here he is delivering that message back. And I think the important takeaway is they don't expect this. They don't expect us to come up here and support them, but it doesn't mean they're not deserving of that. So it was a powerful moment. And Chris turned to me and says, "Man, that was worth it. That's why we're here."
Wow. I mean, what a great story and a typical example of the selflessness of our American troops. And, of course, that was reflected in the service of Lieutenant Dan as well, because you're familiar with that attitude.
Sure.
So thank you guys so much. And we'll put a link up. Is there a website for the Calling All Patriots? Or is there somewhere to go for a clearinghouse of info on this for folks? Or
we're kind of a informal group. I think at some point we'll have a dedicated page on the USO website, so we'll be working on that. But just encourage people to continue to support the USO. As you said, they don't receive any taxpayer funds, so people can definitely support our effort that way.
And through any central bank location, any enterprise location, you can drop off some of those old devices or whatever, and they'll repurpose those in terms of funding for the USO. And again, you guys, thank you so much for sharing your stories with us, and it's always a pleasure to see you guys. And thank you on behalf of all of us for Lieutenant Dan and for the service.